Hey, hello everyone, Sean Simons, PPG Grandpa. Today we have Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shane. Welcome!
Hello!
Hey, today we're going to be talking about the SIV course that we did today. Today is, oh look, I don't even have my watch on me. What is today's date? August 21st.
Oh,
2nd?
22nd.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what.
22nd.
All right, August 22nd of 2020. Be careful, that flame is high. We just started the grill over here, and we're going to be making some hamburgers, and we figured, you know what, why don't we do a bonus podcast while we're making burgers, since we're going to be talking about the SIV course anyways, right?
Yes.
Might as well. So I think that Shane is doing a text thing real quick, and we got the grill going, and we're gonna be cooking up some of your famous burgers. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yes. We are going to do Hamburger Patties, and then Anaheim peppers, onions, jalapenos, and bell peppers.
That sounds good, because you have those all
they've already been sauteed and for lunch. Oh, and cheese. We can't forget the cheese.
Oh my God, we definitely can't forget cheese. What do we have for lunch?
Well, I got another specialty for you. At lunch, I made you a keto-friendly cheese-wrapped brat. And today I'm going to make a hamburger patty, and then I'm going to wrap it in a fried cheese to make it a fried cheese bun, if you will.
Have you ever done that before?
No, not on a hamburger.
See, this sounds really good, because now we already went out with the friends after the SIV course. We went out with the friends, and when I go out with friends, I'm not on any diet at all, and I really enjoyed our French fries, the loaded French fries, and those really amazing homemade rolls that they had with that what was that, cinnamon
bun or cinnamon butter.
Sugar butter?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so good. Which is probably why I'm still 250 pounds. But hey, live a little, right?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with cheating, apparently, according to PPG Grandpa. I'm on vacation. You can eat whatever you want.
Jerk. But anyway, so today we got over here to Lake Wales, Florida. We, actually the day before.
Friday night. Friday night, I set the camper up, made your bed so that you're all comfy, put a chocolate mint on there. All right, now I'm lying.
That chocolate mint was really good. I appreciate that. That was very that was very thoughtful of you.
My wife made your bed. I just set the camper up, got it all ice cold for you when you pulled in, and yeah, it's
It was raining the entire time, so I got here Friday night. I guess we had ribs that night, right?
Yes, we cooked ribs. You already.
I pre-cooked them.
Yes, and then we put them on the grill, warmed them up, and chowed down on them.
God, those ribs were so good. And then tried to get some sleep. The next morning we got up really early. Early is 7 o'clock early?
7 o'clock, yeah.
And then we met up with our instructor over at the dock. What, about quarter of, something like that?
Yeah, it was 7:45. And we got on the boat and threw all of our gear on there, and we headed over to the LZ, or the...
Yeah, I think they call it the Ridge. It rained all the way over here, and we have those two hurricanes/tropical depressions that are coming through. So I was actually really worried. All night long last night it rained. So I was really worried about today. But so anyway, it was really awesome. We went on the boat. It wasn't that far of a drive over to the LZ, and it was just Shane and I. Everyone else that was going to be doing the SIV course decided that they couldn't come for one reason or another. There was another guy that I think ripped his wing. I burnt my wing, so I had to order another one. Just got it not too long ago. So this is a brand new wing, because my other wing is being fixed. Actually, it was supposed to get to Cloud 9, I think, yesterday. So, my Roadster.
I don't know. I haven't damaged any gear, so I don't know how to send that stuff off yet.
Oh, it's through the mail. It's really easy. You put on a address and a stamp.
I'm sure eventually, I'm positive eventually I'm going to destroy something. I just have been lucky so far.
I mean, this is the first thing that I've ever. I think we're right in the smoke. This is the first thing that I've damaged, and the only reason why I damaged it is because I just knew, letting it fall behind me, like I have done on numerous occasions, it'd be perfectly fine. But it decided to roll up, and I told you this smoke over here is bad. We have this fire going, and it just went from the flame to the smoke part, and that's rough. But anyway, let's get on with the actual SIV part. I went first. Why did I go first? Just because I knew what I was doing?
I think they needed a professional to show me what I was needing to do correctly.
Whatever. Yeah, so...
I think because you had already gone, they just kind of wanted to get the momentum going, if you will. Which I agreed with. I would have preferred you have gone first anyways. And
it's only because I was here, 3 months ago or so, and did a couple days of SIV. So this is my second SIV that I've gone to. I'm not going to go tomorrow. One day is plenty. And we're going to get into that because the heat index was way over 100. And when the sun is beating on you, it's really rough. I mean, okay, first of all, if you've never taken an SIV course and you're thinking about taking an SIV course, and that's the reason why you're listening to this, it is so physically exhausting. Even though you're being towed up there, this is physical. What would you say? I mean, as far as physically demanding, what do you think that somebody would need to do to prepare for something like this? Because you can't find... I mean, I couldn't find anything out there that said how exhausting an SIV course is.
Well, from experience as of today,
yes,
I will tell you, the night before, start drinking tons of water.
Right.
I do mean a ton of water, or soda, or whatever you drink. But make sure it's hydrating. You got to picture, you're out in the sun, you're actually wearing a life jacket. You don't think of a life jacket as being very hot because usually if you're wearing a life jacket, you're in the water. Well, this thing is sitting on you in 100-degree heat, which is only sucking out more moisture from you. Right. Then you add the harness, which literally closes off the wind getting to your back. So now you've got the front covered with a life jacket. You've got the back harness, the harness on your back. And you
got a helmet.
And you got a helmet on. And you're sitting there just roasting in the sun. Within probably the first hour, maybe hour and 10 minutes, I started getting, not cramps, but I started getting things that started to tell me I was going to be getting cramps. And shortly after...
What exactly happened?
I got pains under my rib on my left side. I kept poking because I was like, man, what is that? And it was dehydration setting in. And next thing you know, it turned into a cramp.
I wonder if we had a mild form of heat stroke. I mean, we both got sunburned.
Yeah, I put sunblock on before I left the truck.
My wife gave me sunblock, and
it was sitting in the car when you left.
I think that's what happened.
Oh, well, my wife told me to put some on, so I do what she says because I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
I do whatever I want as long as I ask her first.
Exactly.
So then today the winds were kind of strong. So you do a reverse launch and you're holding the wing above your head. You're kiting it. And then the tension on the tow rope gets going and then you take off. That part is the most extreme, I would say is the most hardest part of the whole thing, is kiting, keeping your wing up and paying attention to the rope. I mean, you're starting to get pressure. You want to hold back the pressure, but yet you want to keep the wing going. It's like doing 10 things at once at the same time.
And 100 and something heat index.
Yeah. It's a little bit, I don't want to say don't get me wrong, I had a blast today.
Right.
I wouldn't change it, but except for I would have drank tons more fluid the night before, and then all day long would have kept drinking tons of fluids. But I ended up going to the dollar General and buying Pedialyte, 3 of them, and I've been drinking.
How do they taste?
Oh, they're not bad. I feel like, you know.
I thought you said they were yucky.
They are. But when you're cramping and cannot keep, it's just, I have to drink that. It has to be. I'm dehydrated. That's the quickest way to recover is from Pedialyte. So
what all cramped up on you on your body today?
Underneath my rib and my right shoulder blade. If I hold my elbow straight out, my hand up, such as holding your brakes, yeah, the shoulder blade locked up. In the middle of, I don't even know what I was doing. I was doing a speed bar. Frontal, maybe? I don't even know. And it locked up on me right in the middle of, well, looking straight down at the water.
Did you say that you had like your ab cramps too?
Oh, yeah, I did. My harness wasn't adjusted correctly 100%, which was my fault. I should have adjusted it before. And, yeah, so I was kind of like doing ab workout the entire time looking... Because I was leaning back a little bit too far, and so I kind of had to sit forward. Just extra energy spent that I really probably didn't need to spend and couldn't afford to spend.
When you were being towed up, were you using your arms a lot, and was that really wearing you out also?
Not so. It's, well, you got an adrenaline rush. This is from start to finish. You're on a fix. I don't know why people do drugs. They can just come out and do this, and because I was high all day, and I don't mean by toad. I mean it was adrenaline pumping constantly. I'd go to open a drink, and I'd notice myself shaking, and I didn't even notice I was shaking before.
Wow.
But as you're getting towed, I did use brake, but you didn't have to. You could have weight shifted. Which I did, I think on the last tow I did, I was doing more weight shifting than I was pulling because I couldn't, my shoulder blade was locking up on me, so I didn't really try to use the brakes as much, try to give my arms a rest.
Now, Andrew also said too that we did 5 tows each, which is what, more than what most people do? Is that what he said?
I think it's one more than what he normally gives everybody. But, I mean, we could have gotten even more if we weren't spent. But he would have said, hey, you know, go up for free. I couldn't have gone. I was just beat. I was done. You know, I was just unprepared. As much as I try to be prepared for this, you can't prepare for something that you have no idea. I've never as much during flying, in 65 hours that I have on my motor, I've never as much as had even a tip deflation.
Right.
Well, today I've had right and left 50% deflation. I've had a full frontals. I've had speed bar 50%. Actually, I did B stalls, A stalls.
You did a horseshoe too.
Yeah, I did a horseshoe, and I did big ears, which I've never done before. By the way, those are super easy.
After you do them, they're very easy, right?
He's like, do big ears. I'm like, okay, no problem. Pull. I'm like, oh, that was awesome. Yeah, look at that. Nothing happened.
No, it really doesn't feel like that at all.
Neither does the horseshoe. The horseshoe is not, for me.
Right.
For me, it was even less than big ears. And then for Sean, he apparently had a different outcome of his horseshoe.
Yeah, when I pulled the 2 A's, center A's in together, my whole front just collapsed into it. And I looked on my Fly Sky High, and I was dropping at 32 feet a second. And you're not supposed to drop that much on your horseshoe. How fast do you think that you dropped on yours?
I don't think I dropped at all. I felt it was less dramatic, and by dramatic, I mean not even noticeable, than my big ears.
That's crazy. I don't understand what happened with mine. I think my trims were all the way out.
Maybe. Did you look on the video and see if you noticed that?
No, because it's on the 360, so I have to actually, download the footage and really look into it because it's on the low resolution mode when you're just streaming it from the GoPro to your phone. So I wasn't really sure, and I'm not sure exactly what happened. But this whole podcast right now that we're doing, is a bonus podcast of what to expect during an SIV course. That sounds like a really what. Is it cramping?
Yeah, I got a cramp in my rib.
Right now.
Just standing here watching charcoal burn.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. So while you're holding your side and stretching right now, that was only after five toes. Speaking about toes, okay, I cramped. My toes were cramping. My ribs, just like you said, my ribs were cramping. My neck and shoulder. Oh my God, my neck cramped. And then I yawned, and then my whole throat and everything locked up, and I couldn't close my mouth. I can't close because it was all cramped up, which was scary. I think the heat. I think we had maybe a mild case of heat stroke, or sun, whatever the mildest part of being out in the sun and being dehydrated. I think that was really it, because after when we were back here at the camper and we had the AC on, when I was inside I was fine. When we came out here to cook the brats, the heat and everything, even though I was sitting down drinking water, I was starting to cramp up again, which I've never experienced. That was just crazy. I think it was the heat and lack of being prepared with not enough fluids.
Yeah.
But so if you could tell someone out there, how to prepare for an SIV and what to expect that you just don't see or hear on YouTube or podcast, what would you tell them?
Well, no matter how many videos you watch, you're not going to be prepared for what actually happens. Again, I've never had as much as even a tip collapse, and today was full on chaotic and controlled, though. It was bad, but it was controlled. You have somebody telling you exactly what to do and when to do it, and it really helps. But to prepare for it, drink a ton of hydrating fluids and the night before. And when you think you've drank enough, drink some more, because if you're here in Florida doing this, you're going to be in 95 plus temperatures, and we even were under a shade tent, and it just still didn't help. I mean, the winds were howling, but it's hot air.
Yes.
So it's not like you get any kind of relief from the heat. So, yeah, I mean, sweating, dying, cramping, drink fluids. I don't know how else to tell you. Just drink fluids, because you're gonna light snack.
Maybe do a month of P90X or something, get you a little bit stronger, maybe lose a couple of pounds, because, I think we're both at what, 250-ish, 225-ish?
I'm at 230, I think, right now. Yeah.
About 250-ish right now.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I mean, I'm doing it again. I can't do it tomorrow. I'm just beat. I'm tired and I'm exhausted.
So you were actually planned on doing 2 days, and you decided to do like a prepay for another weekend, another day later in the future. Is that what happened?
Yes. One, we were supposed to have a bigger class, and that fell through. So after getting literally just worn out today, I don't see, one, I'm going to get money's worth out of my class for tomorrow. I'm too exhausted. There's just no way. There's no way I can do it.
Right.
And I actually went to the store and bought Pedialyte and been drinking that since we got back. And I'm standing right here.
You're still cramping, aren't you?
Still cramping right now. So to go back out there tomorrow would just be a waste of money, because I'm not going to learn anything fighting the wing and a cramp at the same time, or three.
Fatigue or something. Right?
Yeah, I just want to go to bed.
If we weren't going to be cooking these burgers, we probably would have been snoozing right now, because I'm exhausted. Hey, when you left today, you went to go do something.
Pedialyte.
Oh yeah. So you went to go get the Pedialyte. I stayed here, laid down, and as soon as my head hit the pillow, I think I was out, because you left. I laid down, and all of a sudden you came back in. I'm like, what? Why are you here so soon? I mean, what happened? And you were gone for almost an hour.
Yeah, I think it was maybe an hour. Not even. I have no idea.
Because I woke up knowing that I was dreaming. I mean, that was just insane how quickly I fell asleep. But yeah, so it's really difficult to actually tell people how to, or what to do to prepare for an SIV, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at other SIV courses. You're going to be watching, the 360s that are out there. I got a bunch of 360 SIV courses, everything from being, buckled in to towing to doing something up and even landing. But, even if you're watching it in 360 VR, you're not feeling the heat. You're not feeling the wind, the G-forces, and stuff like that. Oh, speaking about G-forces.
I was just gonna say you need to get on the G-forces, because, man, I thought I had pulled some stuff before, and flying around with my paramotor, but yeah, I've not done anything like I have with this SIV course. What
kind of G-force did you feel like you had, and what caused it?
I don't know how. I've never felt anything like that before. But when you do let's say a full frontal, and you come out of it, you've got this surge that you got to deal with, and that sometimes will put you in a spin. But will guarantee you to put you in a spin is a 50% deflation, and then he wants you to lean into the deflated side.
No, the other side.
Well, he also has you doing the deflated side. Oh yeah, I was hanging off of both sides.
Oh, did he?
Yes, both times, or 4 different times. I did 2 on the one side and 2 on the deflated side. Yeah.
Okay, I was on the inflated side, and then I pulled up. So what I did is I pulled my. We'll just say I pulled my right, and half of it deflated. And I could tell that I was going down. I mean, no loss, no butterflies and stuff like that, like on a roller coaster. Nothing at all. Yeah. But you could tell that you were going down, but it wasn't scary. And then I leaned onto the left side that was still inflated, and then I actually pulled the left brake to continue to use that wing. And then I went to the other side, let the brake up, and then I just let it kind of fly to the right. That was deflated. And then as soon as you let that wing up and it catches, man, you could feel, there's a big surge of speed. I guess what it is that you're going down, so fast. And when it opens up, now you're going in for that glide, and you're going back up or something like that. But yeah, the G-forces were pretty intense. Did you ever do did you ever get into a spiral?
No spirals. Other than when I was doing half deflations and leaned into the deflated side, and I ended up getting into the spirals that way. That's the only G's I really felt doing it that way. But I didn't do any spirals yet. That's one of the things I want to come back and learn how to do, because I like that feeling. Oh, dude,
the first time that you do a real spiral, the G-forces are absolutely incredible. It's really amazing. So as far as me and my cramps, like I said, everything from my toe to my back to my ribs to my neck and shoulder. Of course, I don't think I had any ab cramps, but that was really weird having that neck cramp. That really hurt. Yeah, so I went up. I can't remember exactly what we did. I know I pinned off early that first time.
Yeah, you were only at like 2,000 feet, I think it was.
It was at 2,000 feet, and I don't remember why we turned. Oh, okay. The boat was going to be doing a figure 8 like they normally do, but we had so much headwind it was just going to be a straight tow. So that first one, I only got up to about 2,000 feet, and I think that all I did was a couple of spirals and wing overs, which was fun. It was nice to get back in the groove. Coming back to the shore, we were facing away from the shore and moving completely sideways. We were crabbing the entire way because the wind was so strong. How'd you feel about that?
Well, I was always taught from school, when I went to paramotor school, that you don't go up in these winds. And, well, we're going up in these winds. I'm like, I wasn't comfortable. And honestly, if I would have said, hey, I'm not comfortable, I don't want to do it, I would not have been asked to go and do it. No. But I was just like, you know what? I'm trusting my instructor. I'm trusting the situation. And I did have a little hiccup, but outside of that, I mean, it was good. And if you've never done a elevator ride down on a glider, because the winds are so strong, and touch down with both feet together and then just turn around and set the wing down, then you should try high winds, because that's what happens.
High wind, laminar winds, not gusty. I've flown in winds like this before with a motor. No big deal. I've flown like this. Some of my midday flights are about that windy. But laminar wind, not gusty, not crazy, and overcast, not thermic. But
we were overcast most of the day.
Yeah, until that sun came out, and I think that's when we got overheated.
Yeah, right around probably 11:15, somewhere like that. The wind came out, and it just got. I'm sorry, the sun came out, and it just got hot. It got ridiculously hot.
It's like being in hell. Hopefully, I'll never feel what hell feels like, because I think that's kind of what we felt today.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was warm, definitely warm.
So I guess some of the things that we can take from this is, if you're going to be doing an SIV course where it's going to be hot, make sure you drink plenty of fluids. Expect it to be exhausting. Expect 5 toes to wipe you out completely. And you probably want to sleep the rest of the day. Well, I mean, unless you're a young kid and you're already athletic running mountains or something like that.
Yeah, if you're in your 20s, 30s, you'll be fine.
It's us old farts.
But I'm on the other downhill side of the 40s, and
I'm 51 right now.
Yeah, so and I got an easy job in life. Well, I shouldn't say I got not a really demanding job, I should say, anymore. So I'm not in the shape that I was when I was in my 20s and 30s, but I mean, I don't know, go walk a little bit. You can't prepare for this. You can't do it.
No, yeah, if you're older folks that are doing this, definitely you want to be a little bit more prepared physically. Mentally, pretty easy, no big deal. Yeah. I don't think that I had to prepare mentally for this, because it was quite easy. But physically, it was just so demanding. Oh, okay. Let me ask you this: you went to school. Your instructors told you not to fly and stuff like this until you get more, advanced or something. SIV courses are supposed to be more advanced for advanced pilots. Now, you and I both been flying since November, and I have flown in winds that are a lot worse than what you're used to flying. So even though that we, kind of been flying about the same amount of time, I got just a couple more hours than you.
You got a lot more than me.
A couple, yeah. I don't even know what it is, because I don't even count no more. I know that I have over 150. I'm sure I'm pushing closer to 200. I need to look on my.
So you have I have 100. I have this like 65 hours total on my motor.
With 200 flights?
Over 200 flights. But they're not long flights. I was told in school you learn more from taking off and landing than you do taking off, going for 2 hours, and coming back and landing. Right. Which I see both sides of the argument of. That's not true, because you learn a lot while you're in flight, and then you learn a lot from taking off and landing. So I stuck with what my teacher said. I can still hear him in my ear, and every time I take off, I do what he's what I was instructed to do, and everything's worked out great for me. So, but yeah, launching today in the high winds was pushing my comfort level, let's just say.
That's interesting. So I know a lot of people hear that, after you go to school, go take an SIV course. But are you thinking, wait for 6 months of flying, wait for a year of flying? What do you think what do you think that you probably need to have as far as skill before going to do an SIV course?
You know, while you were saying that, I was thinking, what is a good answer for this?
Right.
Because honestly, I felt before I got there that I was prepared for this and I have enough experience. And then when I got involved in some of the chaotic stuff that happens, you know, if I didn't have the experience that I had having 65 hours, I think I would have, I don't think I've been prepared to adjust, brake when you're supposed to. Actually, I was braking, I was braking when I wasn't supposed to because I was just kind of, it was chaotic. So I wanted everything to stop as fast as possible. And when you want something to stop, you hit what? Brakes. So after 3 or 4 different things and being told to stop hitting the brakes when I didn't need to, hands up, start listening to your instructor. That's number one. And then I learned better and flew a heck of a lot better. So I think having a little bit of time under your belt.
Are you talking about time or hours?
Well, that's the same. I mean, I guess I would consider it the same.
Because we both have the same time.
The time in the chair, in the air. The more time you have in the air before you go to a SIV, I feel, would be more beneficial because you understand what your wing is doing.
So maybe a year after, like your yearly anniversary of graduating paramotor school would probably be the best thing to do, you think?
I wouldn't say dates. I'd say hours on your time in the air.
How many hours would you suggest then?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I got 65 and I kind of felt a little shy of experience, if you will. But again, I've never had even a wingtip collapse. So today I'm doing a full frontal. How do you prepare for that? How do you justify how many hours equivalents to to a full frontal?
So it's really difficult to kind of, come up with the amount of time that you need to prepare or how many hours that you need in the air, or how many months that you need to do it, or motor time or kiting time. I mean, it's really difficult to say. It's pretty much, this is what I think. I think when you feel like you have really almost maxed out what you can do with your wing, your motor, and everything that you've done. And when you feel like, man, I want to go do an SIV course because everything I'm doing right now is boring, maybe then go do an SIV course or look into it. What do you think about that? I mean, why are you here?
I wanted to know what my wing is capable of doing. I want to know when I'm flying in winds that are a little bit more outside of my comfort zone, how much I need to worry about the wing above me. And here at the SIV course, you're going to find out what your wing is capable of doing. And I'm very pleased. I mean, I'm ecstatic at how well my wing recovers after purposely collapsing it, making it not want to fly.
How hard was it to actually make that darn thing collapse anyway?
Well, we're going to have a little debate on this because Andrew told me to pull it quickly.
Right.
I pulled everything quickly and had no problems. Mm-hmm. There was 1 or 2 times when I had a cramp in my shoulder. I pulled slowly, and I had a lot of trouble. Mm-hmm. So it's again, listen to your instructor when he tells you to give it a yank, the wrist roll. Mm-hmm. That's you roll you pinky up. I don't even know how to explain this without being visual. So your thumb is pointing down. You grab your lines, pinky's up, and then you pull down and roll your wrist inward.
So your pinky's down.
So your pinky's down, and it just folds the leading edge down, and it happens quick, and it happens very. I wouldn't even say violently. It's coming out that's violent. Right. When you collapse a wing, there's not really much. You hear a lot of flapping. That's it. It's when you come out of it and it wants to fly right, and you have this surge behind it, which you need to hands up and then check it on the surge. And I had trouble at first with that idea, but once I figured it out and got it straight, coming out of those weren't bad. Right. Again, I would never have known how to do any of this without coming to this SIV.
Now, you were doing a long XC with some friends a couple months ago. I can't remember when it was.
Poker run.
And what was it?
It was a poker run from Wauchula to Avon Park.
And going over there was easy and fun, you said, but when you said you were coming back, that the winds were kind of, bumping you around, and you landed out early. If you would have taken this class and then went and did this poker run, would you have landed out early, or would you been felt okay to power through it and go land at your LZ?
I would have laughed at the situation at the time or now that I've done the SIV, knowing what my wing was doing at the poker run is nothing. I would almost say it was an overreaction of landing out early, just because there is so much you have to do to get this wing to collapse, and the winds weren't that strong on that day. So yeah, I would have finished the poker run, landed at the second LZ, and been very pleased with myself. I still don't regret having the inexperience and at the time landing out. I think it was the right decision to make, and I got to fly the next day. So you're the pilot in control. If you're not comfortable, land.
Exactly. So, we have a lot of different people that are flying out there. Some people will go up there and within the first month they're doing barrel rolls and wing overs. They just started. They just kind of like have the knack for it. For the first 4 months of me flying, I didn't even touch my trims or my tip steering. I took off. I got way up high. I flew up there for, about an hour. I enjoyed it. It was really great. And I'd come in, turn off my motor and coast in, like you're supposed to. Now, after doing the SIV course, I put more hours on my motor. I've done so many more, I'd say, maneuvers, not stunts or, not, acro, because this is, SIV is not acro. SIV is not stunts. SIV is to learn different maneuvers, and it's pretty much a maneuver out of something that could possibly happen when you are flying in conditions that could possibly collapse your wing. One of the things that my instructor was talking about was, when would you need to learn, or when would you need to know how to do a 50% collapse? When would you need to do that? Here's something. So why would you need to know how to collapse half your wing?
To lose altitude.
Well, you could easily do that with big ears. You could do that with the spiral. One of the things that Andrew was telling me last time was, what if you were coming in for a landing, okay? And all of a sudden you had all these trees on your right-hand side and you could barely squeeze it, and you don't want to get that wing caught, right? You can actually pull that collapse, right, and come in, miss that thing, let it out, and go land beyond. You come in someplace where the branches are kind of low, or in between. You can pull big ears and slide through, and land on the other side.
He told you that. He didn't tell me that. I must have missed it. I must not have been.
This was the last time I was here.
Okay,
because I was asking. It's like, why would you need to do this? Why would you need to know these maneuvers? Right. What are some real world instances that you would need? Like, remember when Tucker was coming in for a landing, and he was too close to the trees and he got his wing caught like that? Right. What if he pulled a little big ear on that side when he was landing? He would have missed it.
Yeah.
So it's not really acro, it's not really stunts, and I seriously doubt anybody would even think about pulling big ears in that particular situation.
Yeah, no, I don't see that. But a lot of the stuff that we did today was also because of the horseshoe. Mm-hmm. Is what if you get caught in cloud suck?
Right.
That helps you.
That would suck.
Yeah. Go figure. That helps you. Big ears makes your wing go from a big wing to a smaller wing, so you lose altitude. Again, if you're hitting high winds or thermal, mm-hmm, then it helps you get through that and it gets lower. So, and knowing how to deal with a wing that just you weren't prepared for it to do something that it does, and you've already done this at the SIV in a controlled situation, right, over water, parachute, or a reserve, and a boat. I mean, it's perfect. It's a perfect situation.
I really wish that you were able to throw a reserve today too. That would have been really
I
cool.
was asked 3 times to throw a reserve. I didn't.
You're like, I am not going to get my wing wet.
No.
But
I never thought about that. I just literally was refusing to throw that reserve after I did the 3 pumps. After the 3 pumps of the brake, if it didn't come out, then I would have threw the reserve because I would not have had a choice. I was going down.
with my new wing here, because I originally came over here to the SIV with the Roadster 328 meter. Today, because my Roadster 3 is getting repaired, I bought a Gin Vantage 3 28 meter. Even though they're both the same meter, 28 meter, this one that I have actually has less fabric. It has A's, B's, and C's, and it's designed for it's kind of a hybrid of a mountain wing and a motor wing. It has more lift with less fabric than my Roadster does, which is really amazing. But yeah, I was able to do my 5 toes. I went up and when we were doing that horseshoe, like I said, the horseshoe did not go as expected. I mean, I dropped 32 feet a second, which was the fastest I've ever dropped before. Before this, the fastest was a spiral, and I was getting about 25 feet a second drop. So 32 unexpectedly really quick. I was like, no, I just don't want to do this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be posting this SIV video probably pretty soon. I'd say, let's see, today is Saturday, right? I'm going to drive back Sunday tomorrow. Monday I'm off, so I might be able to get it finished and uploaded before our clearproptv.com live podcast on Monday night. I don't know. We'll find out here. But anyway, I think that when it comes to something like this, being prepared is probably dependent on how active you are, you know, and your age. Well, actually, not so much your. How active are you? You know, I think Mike Tyson, he'd have no problem going up and do this. He wouldn't get cramps.
He'd even fight a shark.
You'd bite an ear off a shark. You say, big ears, I'm going to bite that big ear. So, yeah, I think it's pretty much how active you are. I don't think it's so much the age. If you're an able-bodied person, what's that? You want to make the burgers? Yeah, let's go ahead and make the burgers. I mean, that's what.
Oh, we're gonna do it as we're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, we got the charcoal going.
Let's go inside because there's less mosquitoes in.
Less bugs, absolutely.
And frogs.
I know, right? We're at 43 minutes right now of this podcast. Hopefully, it's been really interesting as far as our viewpoints. Shane is a young guy.
What?
You're younger than me, punk. You're still in your 40s. Punk.
Barely.
Punk.
Barely.
Punk. And, and the people that are doing the SIVs are, I think, isn't Andrew and Jonathan, aren't they in their 20s, 30s?
I would say.
And Leah, I mean, they're.
Leah is probably. Well, she's been doing this for years, though.
Unbelievable, yeah. So.
That woman is amazing.
Yeah, Leah is amazing, yeah.
She makes taking off and landing look effortless.
She does. I would love to be able to take off and land like her, but I think push comes to shove. If you're active, if you can do some push-ups, if you can do some pull-ups, this will be no big deal. If you're not so active, I mean, my job is driving. My sport is paramotor, which is sitting down most of the time. My activity level is almost nil. So it is kind of difficult for me. And you drive, and your activity level is not that much. So, it really pulls a lot out of you when you're doing something like this. Anyway, we're going to be putting up a video. Shane, how can we get to your YouTube?
It's Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shane. And on Instagram, it is Never Trust a Skinny Chef, all one word, Shane. And You'll see me on there.
Do you tweet too?
Nope, no tweeters.
No tweeters, so you don't hear what the president's talking about.
No.
You can always get me at ppggrandpa.com, clearproptv.com. That's where we have our podcast, and parrottalk.org. That's our audio podcast only, which is where you're hearing this, or any podcast at all, any podcast player you can hear us. Have a wonderful day. If you want to ask us any questions about anything, please make sure you go to clearproptv.com on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to get this to where it flows a lot better. One of these days, I'm going to be able to say it so well. And go to the chat and talk with us. You can always email me anytime that you want to at ppggrandpa@gmail.com and ask me questions that you want us to answer on the email and something that we could possibly bring up on our podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day or evening or whatever it is. It's dinner time right now for us. Shane, any last thoughts, any last words?
Sign up for an SIV, have fun, and listen to your instructor.
Listen to your instructor. All right, guys. Peace out. Bye.